Hey guys. Alright, let's get her started. So guys, I'm just posting everything to social media, letting everybody know we're going live. So that's one down, 3 more to go. Got a couple more in here. Okay, so that's got me there. Let me put the normal spiel in the chat. Hey Wonky, how's it going, man? Hey, John, got you in here too, bub. So like always, if you have any tickers or questions, post them in the chat and we'll go over them. Also, I know a couple of people are watching on their phone and they don't have the app, and it's not easy setup trying to type in the chat there. If you're in a Discord that I am, I'll try to keep up with those today. If you'll post me and just tag me in a question, I'll try to get back to you on there, and I'll try to keep up with that today too. Let me get a post-it out here. Yeah, I still do things old school way. I put a post-it right here on my laptop every time we start a stream, and that way I can just quickly write down several of these at one time and not have to keep coming back and forth. Good afternoon, Captain. How's it going, man? Okay, NNDM, Riot, and CI. So let me go over an HX. Let me go over BBIG, and then we'll start running down these tickers here. I know a lot of y'all are in this right now, this BBIG play. And this is the drawings turned off. This just got the MA lines on it. Let me set it up here. We can see that, yeah, this 4-hour chart. We can see that we come under. This is where we popped up. And today it was actually pretty decent in the beginning. This is that big sell-off yesterday right in the after hours. But the good news is we're still holding that 200. That's what I like to see. That 200 is a really good key place. Whenever you're under it, you want to be back over it. So like if we fall under it again, we don't want to spin too long under it. We want to try to get right back over it. At least start retesting it to show that it's wanting to get back over it. So you can see here, this is the 15-minute. So if you're not in this for the squeeze, your get out point was when it crossed under the 200 and then got rejected. If you're in this for the squeeze, there's no point to worry because we're still, like I was showing you on the 4 hour, we're still up, we're still doing good. If we turn on the drawings here, this 484 is the bottom support, but our key support right now is 597. We want to get back over this 200 on the 15 too, though. Look for, what did I say, 597? Yeah, look for, I don't know. I mean, the way it's looking like it's going to use this 622 as support. But we did get rejected by the 200, which is not a good sign on these. We do need to try to retest that and get over that. At least get over the 50-day and retest it and bounce that confirmation. That would be a really nice play to at least, we don't have to have the confirmation, but it'd be nice to get over it before the end of the day. That would show that we're making progress for it. But our key date on BBIG is the 22nd. That's one of the key dates that we're watching for. So unless this thing bottoms out, I'm in it for that date. Like I said, I've already made money on this on the first two swings up, so now I'm in it for the squeeze. Let's start running these down. BBIG. Now it's SEI. SEI, you know, on the 3-minute it looked rough. I mean, you can see here it looks very rough, and it's getting rejected by this 200. I told somebody earlier today I was about ready to buy puts on it when it was right around this rejection. And puts would have been good as far as the day trade goes. I mean, look at that. That nice little candle there would have been really good. But if we're talking about holding longer than a day trade, if we come out to the 15-minute, it doesn't look bad. It bounced off the 200. It's staying above this key support right up here. So as far as like holding it a little bit longer, it doesn't look bad yet. Now when it gets under that 200, that's a different question. If I was playing this using my EMA strat, I would have got out on this rejection of the 50. And then if it would have bounced here, then we can talk about getting back in it. But if you're still holding this, there's no reason to sell right now. It's still, you know, looking good. Just look for the key rejections here and look for it to break under the 200. HX. This is one that I called out this morning. I seen it run up on the pre-market, and then right after close, I seen it bounce off this 50-day. So I said to myself, I'm going to put this on there. It stayed above the 50-day before the pre-market, and it was looking pretty decent. And sure enough, it did dip under the 50, but it came right back up. And then, just like we say, watch for those. It don't always have to cross, guys. That 15 doesn't have to cross the 50. What you want to see is a good, if it is below it, you want to see it cross. But if it's not, you want to see good separation along with good volume. And the fact that it's trading over the 200 is a plus. So that would have been a key right here. Once you see this starting to spike with this good volume, watch for your retest to that 15. When it does that, that's your key. We come here to the 3-minute. You can see the same thing. It started separating. It came back. It retested off the 15. That's your buy-in right there. When it retests and bounces. So any one of those two candles after that first green one would have been a perfect buy-in. And let's say you're day trading this and you bought in. Let's say we done the third one. As soon as we seen green on the third one. That's a 70% spike up. Let's say you held until it broke underneath. Then that's a 40% increase. If you're still holding, you're looking at 58 right now. So I mean that's a perfect setup. if you're not watching my videos on these strats and stuff like that, guys, you're really missing out. There's some really good ways to play these things going. I mean, that EMA strat's good for day trades, short swings, and even long swings. Start looking back on every one of them plays that you see pop up and see if you don't see good separation between these two with good volume right at the separation, and see if you don't see it come up, retest. Some people will do it off the first bounce, some will do it off the third bounce. So if you're actually looking at this, that would have been 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, you wouldn't even got in there on this one unless you started getting in right now. But you can always start seeing those key things. You can look at any time it spikes up, you'll start seeing those key things. And you have a quick out point. So I mean, it's a built-in strat where you don't have to think about when do you sell, when do you buy. You know, you can sell either when it crosses under the 15, you can sell when it crosses under the 50, or you can set your stop loss for, if we're doing this one, you can either set it for the bottom here and get out right where you paid in, or you can set it for the 200 and get out in profits even though it won't be much. So let's start running these down. Right. See again right here, if you was day trading, you see the spike up in the pre-market, it came back and retest. So as soon as you see it pop up in the morning, I always wait the first 20 minutes to 30 minutes or so. So you're seeing it come down. As soon as you see this, it bounced off the 200, you bought in because you already have it set in down here. You already have the separation, so you're just looking for a reason to buy in. It didn't confirm under the 200. You got a really good candle. The second one completely broke, what am I looking for there? New high, or the recent highs, the high of the day, whatever terminology you want to use. So let's say you'd have jumped in there on this one. And guys, we're not even talking about options. Options give way higher percentages. But let's say you'd have jumped here on this one. You'd be up 6% on this trade just on the day. Now, right, we've been talking about it for several days now. All these crypto stocks have been talking about it. Yesterday was the only cool down day for any of them. BB&T was the same. I played BB&T today. Not BB&T at the bank. BTBT. I got out as soon as it crossed under the 50 the second time, or 15 when it crossed under it the second time. So if we look here, I got in as soon as it bounced off the 200, come back down, broke it here. I made right at about 10% today on that, but I played options, so it was a lot better than 10%. SDIG is another one we're looking at. It's a new one. Be careful with these IPO stocks. They're good to play for the first day or two. To give you an idea about IPO stocks, when they first IPO, they are usually up about 40% within the first few days. But then 6 months out, they're usually only up 5 to 6%. So what does that tell you? You know, wait until they cool off. Wait until they get under wait until they find good support. And then if you want to buy in, buy in. Look at Hood, look at Coin, look at all the IPOs. If you missed out on that first day or missed out on getting in, then wait. It is well worth that wait until it cools off. You find support and you can get in there. NNDM. I sold my MMDM this morning on this first run up. I didn't make much money on it. Evidently it looks like I should have held. I could have done better, but I was already up on my Bank of America puts right out of the gate. Sold them at a decent price, and good thing too because they shot up right after that. And this one, it didn't shoot up and keep going right out of the gate. So as soon as I seen resistance, I got out. I was fine getting out. See, it doesn't show on here, but this is actually red for a while this morning. But it come back up, it hit green, and as soon as I seen a good out point, I got out of it. It just, the way the candles were doing, I just didn't like the way it looked, so I got out of it. You can see if I show you Bank of America, this drop, as soon as I started seeing green on it, I sold, and I think I made, God, what was it? It was somewhere between $20 and $35 a contract, and we picked up a few contracts on it. Watt is another one we're running down. Yeah, Watt, it didn't do nowhere near what I wanted it to when I called it out yesterday morning. I thought for sure it would bounce off the 200 or the 50, but it just didn't do it. See, you can see where it tried to rest there, but as soon as the bell rang, people got out, it was gone. That was it. Let me check the messages right here where we're at and see if anybody has any questions about what we're doing. John, which one you said if we fall under it tend to rip up shortly after? Which stock you talking about on that? HX or BBIG or CEI? Yeah, what? Somebody asked me in Discord about it, and I was like, look, this is not going to be a long-term hold. If you're playing this one, it just needs to be for a day or two and get out if you see any resistance. HX, yeah, HX is looking really decent right now. I like it. CLF, yes, CLF is the one. Guys, I've been calling this out for a while now because it's a great stock to play. It likes to bounce, it likes to jump. You can see up here how it stayed in between this. It's a good scalping stock. But when it sold off, I knew then, I was telling people then, guys, this is not going to stay down forever. I got my first shares at around $18, $19, something like that. And it has done exactly what I expected it to do. Kind of like bounce back and forth until I had a reason. And then you see it dropped up above the 200 here. Popped up, not dropped. It kind of wrote it out. God, I can't speak English today, man. Let me go down to lower time frame. And then I was even talking to Wonky about it in Discord and asking him if he got in, and he said, yeah, a few days ago I bought the dip. I said, that was a good play. And then he said, I was watching for a 50% bounce. That's where, it sells off about roughly 50% and then jumps. A lot of people use Fibonacci and do the 50 to 61%. And those were both great entry points on this stock. And we have earnings coming Friday on it. Pretty sure it's Friday morning is when they'll be out. I think that's what we're seeing here. What I did this morning is I'd already had my shares in it. So out of the gate, I bought calls. Okay, so when it popped up over this resistance line here, first sign of resistance, I sold those calls. So I sold right here at this red candle. I think I may have even waited to the second one. I can't remember. But anyways, I sold above the resistance line. Now, as soon as it came down, you see this green candle here at the 15-day. As soon as it came down, touched it, and I seen that we had green, red, green, I bought back in. Now, that's usually not the right candle setup for this, but to me, it looked like it was going to consolidate out that a little bit. And from there, it really wouldn't have bothered me if it came down to the 50. So I went ahead and picked up a few more calls. The calls, unless, like I said, unless it just crashes out, I will be holding them through tomorrow. We'll have to see when it gets closer to the end of the day on how it does. If this spikes up tomorrow before the end of the day, I will probably get out. I probably won't hold for earnings, because usually what happens in there, it spikes up in the after hours in the pre-market, and then it's a crapshoot whether or not it whether or not you can get out in profit or not. Now, if it stays about even, or just goes up a little bit, or even down, whichever, as long as it doesn't spike up, then I'm going to hold them until the earnings come in the morning. The reason being is usually when a stock's down like that, if it has a good earnings, it will shoot up for about at least the first half of the day. CLF being a good company, it may hold longer, but you at least usually see that first half of the day spike. Actually, it kind of looks like this. You'll see it spike up for at least the first half of the day, then cool off. And that's a good little run, a good time for options. So CLF is definitely a play that I'm gunning for this week. Today, I spent a little bit of time in CJ and the Trading Collective. I don't know if you'd call it a stream, but in their Discord they do a voice chat kind of stream thing. And he called out American Airlines. He said that, between his algo and a few things like that, it was giving put signals. So I waited. They was calling for the puts around this green candle here above. Let me go to the 3 minute. I'll tell you more about it. So around when it popped over this 200, somewhere around this candle here, they was giving signals in. So the deal is it needed to get rejected at or before this 1981. So me being more conservative, I actually waited, and I waited until it came and broke below this 50-day or 15-day. I jumped in, I sold here, and made a pretty decent profit. Now, some of the other guys held and did this one right here. Well, they sold half here, held on to the rest, and sold the rest down here. So they even did even better, but I couldn't stick with it. But you see, this was from 11:06 to roughly 11:45. So less than an hour, I made 20% profit. So that's a pretty good play. And guys, if y'all ever want to check them out, their Discord is the Trading Collective. I have a link in the description down below. They also have algos and stuff like that if you're interested in it. That's pay for stuff though. The Discord is, you can just go check the Discord out. But if you're interested in any of that stuff, it's decent. They do pretty decent. But if you ain't got the money for it, don't pay for that stuff. You can learn this stuff here if you have the time. The algos are good to have. I like to have them, things like that. But if you don't have the money for them, they're not needed. They're a luxury item, let me put it like that. So if it's something that you think you'd like to have, great. If not, then just stick with what you're doing, and eventually you can learn how to do this stuff. But even I find some value in those algos from time to time. So let's see. What are we running down? I think the CLF earnings are going to be good. I know that they're expecting good growth. So the outlook should be good, things like that. I do know that there was a report that went out talking about how steel has lowered, but that shouldn't help or shouldn't hurt CLF for this earnings, because it was up like crazy during the quarter that this earnings is for. Plus their outlook, even with the steel prices being lower now, is still very positive, very good. So the question is will it beat earnings and by how much? And we can look back. Let me find it here. We can look back at the chart and see that there was enough people in it that for the last quarter it climbed really good. So I think overall it's going to be decent, but it doesn't matter if it's decent or not. It doesn't matter if they're in profit. None of that matters. What matters to get these run-ups is will it beat predictions, which I believe it will, and does it have a good outlook, which I believe it does. So I think earnings is going to be good, but really, have I ran the numbers and stuff? No, mostly I've just read articles and looked into it that way. I really don't have the time to run numbers and stuff like that anymore, so I kind of depend on a lot of these articles and things like that to kind of make an educated guess along with the chart and just how does the company do, if that makes sense. Let's see, we had a few other of these to run down. NRXP. So it's holding above the 200. I mean, if you're in this, then I don't see any reason to sell until it breaks under 200, confirms. Mostly actually breaks under this 1009 support. Because the way it's setting up right now is there's a possibility for at least another spike up to this $13. So as long as you don't get that break under that 1009, I don't see any reason to sell this right now. If you held through that, might as well hold through this. Yeah, and you might even get a clear break above the 200. It's really 1-2 on this. And again, what do you guys see? That 15 over 50 cross separation, good volume, the retest, and the bounce. So this is setting up pretty decent. Hey, no problem, guys. If y'all ever got any questions or anything, I'll give you an honest opinion on it. I was actually looking at AMC. A lot of y'all know that I have shares in AMC and I'm holding shares. But it might be looking good for a put. I don't think it's going to come way back down, but just $1 or $2 pullback is all I need to make some really good profits on puts. So I'm really looking at this rejection here. If it gets a clear rejection here, I'll probably play. I don't think I'll play weeklies because it's just getting 2 days and the theta would kill me holding overnight. So if we go to the 9-day out, yeah, theta's still a little bit high on that, but that still might be our best bet. Let me look at the next one. Win puts, yeah. Yeah, so you're looking at either the 9-day or the 16-day would be the best ones to play for it. And you'd probably be best off playing the 39. Or maybe grabbing one of the 40 and 2 of the 39, maybe. That might be a play. But if you don't have the money to play that, this 35 and 36 too would play out just as good. And for what you're putting in on it, you could see 50% to 100% return of your money. So yeah, if we see a rejection there, probably what I'll play is I'll get one of these 39s And then which one's got the higher volume? 35. I'll probably pick up, let's say 3 or 4 of the 35s. But I'm still holding my shares if anybody's wondering. Did we run? No, we got a couple more to go through here. DNMR. Holy crap, this shot up, didn't it? Look, this one candle right here has 700K volume on a 5 million volume day. Well, that's awesome. It's a little bit chasey right now, unless you can get like the 50% pullback and bounce. This one's too chasey to jump in if you're not already in it. HUD, sorry, D. Yeah, this one's set up really nice. Let's see. Let's pull back and look at it. Yeah, but be careful with this when you see how the RSI is really overbought, really hot. It tried to cool off here, but it just wasn't enough. This one really needs to pull back and cool off some. As a matter of fact, if I was going to play this one, where we already missed this bounce on it, I would wait for it to cool back off, at least on the 15-minute, before I played it. But it looks like it broke highs. Yeah, clear break above the high. So I don't know, we'll just have to see what the retest looks like when it retests this support here. But for me to feel comfortable on this, I'd have to see a really decent pullback, let that RSI cool down some. I think that's got us through the ones y'all are looking at. If y'all have anything else, just throw them up. Yeah, we can look at this, SHPW. Yeah, same thing on this one right here. It's really overextended right now. If you're in this one, congratulations, but this these pullbacks here would have been probably the best entry on this one, but even that. See, the time to play this one, if a person could have been watching it, would have been right when we see how it come up above the 200. Then we had this split and a retest of it and a bounce. Would have been anywhere before this big green candle right here. That would have been the perfect entry. So it would have had to bounce up, the retest, the separation, and volume. See, even before these would have spiked up, excuse me, before those would have spiked up, you would have seen this would have been a lot higher compared to these. So they kind of go in relation to the other candles. So that would have been your volume spike right there. Yeah, it looks nice. Let me check Discord and see if they got any questions or anything. UEC. What is UEC? Ain't that uranium or something? Yeah, uranium. Oh yeah, look. Again, a perfect play. It pops up. You get the separation. As soon as you hit the retest, you buy in. This one actually wouldn't be a bad one to buy in now. The RSI, well, the RSI is a little extended, but still. Other than the RSI, that one wouldn't be a bad buy-in. Right here would have been the better buy-in. But I'd watch this one in the after hours. What, does this one have options? Cheap options too. If we got that one at 50, quit moving. For every dollar, it's 56 cents. So that wouldn't be bad at all. How much has it moved today? So it's moved $0.50 roughly. Yeah, I'm going to have to look back at this one here in a minute and see what it's doing. NCTY did good this morning. Friday did good, but I bet you that's a 50% pullback too. What would be the better one to pull it off of? Yeah, see, 50 to 61 pullback and bounce right off that 50. And the fact that it's stepped down like that makes me think that it has a good chance to bounce again. We'll just have to wait and see if it does. Corsair Gaming. Man, see, this one looks good at first glance until you realize that it's triple topped. It's got rejected 3 times at this area. It's rough. Apple was another one I was waiting for the breakout. Originally it broke out to the top. And I tweeted it broke out, and then as soon as it done that, it broke out. And then that's when I called for puts. When it hit under this 50 rechecked, we played puts on it. And look, guys, we made really good money on this one. From this rejection here to here. That was a really decent play. If you ever want to check options, if you got Weeble, here's something you can do. If you right click on it, come down here and go to the widget and go to chart, it'll give you the options chart. It'll show you what it's moved as far as the option goes. So if we go from when it went here, around to 88, 87. Oh wait, we're in the call, sorry. I don't remember which one this was now. Anyways. That's not it, it's back here. This is 1 minute. Sorry, man. So it would have been from 47 to roughly 91. Is what that play would have been. You would have more than doubled your money on that play at that strike. You see. Yeah, we can look at, what is that, Playboy? Yeah, I can look at that, man. Joe? Actually looks pretty good. It's a little bit of a slow burner, but it's making money. Let's see. Let me come back on it. Yeah, see, and it's broke over the 200. You can see here it's got rejected ever since the sell-off. It's gotten rejected at this 200 every time it tries. And finally, we're above the 200. We have the separation, the candles. It'd be really nice if we could see a good pullback and a retest. That's kind of what this candle did here. But I'd like to see a real, like a red candle, green, red, green, or red, green, red. But overall, this looks really nice. If you're in this, congratulations. See right here again on the 15. You see the prices over the 200. We have the separation. We had good volume with it. MACD's looking bullish. And we had the retest and the bounce. So you could even say the 3 bounce on this one. 1, 2, 3, and then buy in. So if you had bought in first, off this first test and bounce, you'd be up 20% right now. If you'd have waited for the 3 bounce, you'd still be up 15%. So that's a decent little play. And I mean, of course, there's going to be some pullbacks with this if you want to swing it longer, but it's looking good right now. If you want to swing it longer, man, move out my way. If you want to swing it longer, look for a pullback at least to the 15 or the 50 and a bounce if you're not in it yet. But this one has a chance of doing good. Was there any new news on it? Oh yeah, they got some NFTs coming in. Yeah, the NFTs are a really hot market right now, so I'd say that's the news that's running on right now. Looks good. Newegg. Let's check out Newegg. So this is the IPO one that we've been talking about. Let's look at the day chart. Wait, I know this IPO'd. Was it an IPO or was it a SPAC? Anyways, it done it around, I think somebody said April there. So you can see it ran up, come right back down. And then again, well, if I can get here and show you. And then again, it keeps getting rejected here at the 200 until finally consolidated. The 3 steps of a reversal is the sell-off, the consolidation, and then the bounce. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me let my dog in real quick. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. Let's get right into it again. What time is it? Alright, it's 30 minutes into the day. Let me check this. And let me check where we at. Let me check BBIG, AMC, and all that good stuff. Yeah, see, it tried to come up, retest the 200, which is also the this resistance, and got rejected again. Let's throw this in here right now. Oh man, I didn't want a trend line. Right there, that's the area it's going to live in. Look for a breakout of either up or down. AMC. Yep, see? This is the reason why we wait for those confirmations on the breakouts. 15 minutes still hasn't broke out yet, or rejected or broke out. That's the one we're watching if we want to pick up puts or not. 3 minute is getting higher lows, but it's looking weak. Could that be it? Could it be getting ready to go? We'll see. Hey, Sturgis, man, how's it going? Yes, we can look at, let's see. AOL, or sorry, American Airlines, it was mainly just a call that somebody put out there based on some of the airlines had earnings I was noticing some of them there, but yeah, we'll take a look at it too. I think it was, it might have been UAL, American Airlines, and Southwest all had earnings. It's either yesterday or today, or it's coming up, or something like that. I was reading something about them having earnings. So let's check out Rig first. That's not Rig. Oh yeah, nice set of candles there. Good volume, good separation. Again, with it pops up over the 200. It bounces. We get to separation, retest, and bounce, and it took off. So let's see about holding it from here. Yeah, you're kindly in a bull flag going up right now. Let me show you. I'm going to do this two ways here. I'm going to look at it like that. And I'm going to look at it like, you know what? I'm going to put this in a box instead. Like that. So you could either say that it's in an ascending triangle, or you could say that it's kind of in a sorry, not ascending triangle. You could say it's in a symmetrical triangle or an ascending triangle. But either way, it needs to break up either out of this box here or the trend line. Let me change the color of that trend line. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. And until then, it's going to probably live in this area. I would, instead of going to the bottom trend line, I'd more go with the 50-day. It looks like it's respecting it pretty decent right now. But definitely on the top end, I would probably go with the trend line more than the box. But the box is if you want to be a little bit more conservative, wait until it breaks out over it. If you need price points on that, that's the trend line is roughly around $4.14 on the top, and roughly around $4 even on the bottom. UAL. Wait, hang on. Let me do something real quick. I'll put that on the watch list so I can keep track of it. Because if it breaks up to the top of that, that'd be a really good breakout. Again, we had to sell off the consolidation, and now we're just waiting for the breakout. The best time to play this would have been when it popped over the 200, and we had this separation, got in there. That would have been really nice. But now if we want to play it, we need to wait for this breakout. If you're in this, that's really good if you're already in it. Yeah, this is on the 4 hour. It's looking a little bit weak right now. Let's take a look. Wait, hold on. Let me go back 1 second. It's under the 200 on the 4 hour. Just put this one in a box there. Okay. So again on this one, It looks like it's found this support, but technically that's a descending triangle, and that's usually a bear sign, so that's not good. Look for the rejection. It's probably going to bounce again at this support. Look for it to come up and get rejected either at the 15 or the 50 again. If it does that, it's probably going to stay bearish. So yeah, it's not looking good. What did Southwest do? Yeah, pretty much the same thing. So if you look at Southwest, see, it looks pretty much the same. Even if we look at American, we had the sell-off. Theirs was more U-shaped, but it still had the sell-off pop up and then come back down. And I don't think that they had a bad earnings. I would say more than likely it was their outlook that brought them down. That's the reason why you see this initial pop up and then sold off. Well, rough, man, rough. Energy sector, if we look, let me show you this. Let me come here. Put you on my screen. Let's go here. Refresh so we're up to date. These are the sectors performing the best right now. Healthcare, utilities, real estate, and materials. Those are doing awesome. Energy's also up there. Consumer staples is also up there. And financials. If we take a look at Wells Fargo, it's been doing good for a while. Wells Fargo is going to have to come down. That's just all it is. It's getting too weak. It's going to have to at least come down and retest this. What did Bank of America do? Yeah, see, Bank of America, it already kind of went out. If we look at the 15-minute on it, it spiked up, but it's starting to look weak now. But I think, you know what? I think I'm going to play puts on this. That's just looking too weak, ain't it? Give me 1 second. I want to buy put on this. So if I'm looking at puts here, what do we want to go with? The theta don't look bad on that, so we don't have to go far out. 48. Let's grab 150 and 249s. No, I'm going to grab 250s now, and then if it does good in the morning, I'll buy 249s. So we want to go with puts. Wait, that's different than what I got here. No, okay, it's the same. Okay, but now it's not wanting to give it to me. Replace my order. I'm going to have to pay an extra $1 for it just to get it now, it looks like. There we go. So I paid the extra $1. I paid 77. Oh, well, it's 77 now anyway. So let's see what she does from there, guys. So I'm in on Wells Fargo right now. And then AMC is another one we talked about picking up. What's the 15-minute look like? Yeah, it's still not a clear rejection yet or not. Can't tell nothing about it. What about in our tops and popular? Yeah, see, it just can't break out of this box here. It needs to break out of that. What else we got in here? Yeah, it's still not clear what it wants to do. Nope, not for me. That's financial. A little bit chasey right now, though. What about in the watch list? Pins shot up today. What about Spot? Oh, Spot's offering up a good entry point right now, guys. A good entry point. If you're in the these type of stocks, Spot is at a good point. What about Roku? It was weak earlier. And guys, this is a good time to mention, if you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out with YouTube's algorithm and gets me out in front of more eyes, in front of more people. Also, you can check us out on Twitter at WTrades. That's DUBYA Trades. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Guys, we put watch lists, charts, news. It's a great place to keep up with the stocks and this community in general. It's just a lot of information being put out there. It's also good to scroll through because I do put out a ton of information there. What do we got here? Yeah. So the airplane earnings was last night, they said. If you got calls on rig, man, you're doing really good right now. ARNC, let's look at that. Captain, man, I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, the only thing I ask for is, just hit that like and subscribe button and follow on Twitter. That helps me out a lot. I'm just really trying to grow the channel and the community. I'd really like to have a good community of traders that it's based on technicals and that type of trading. Let's see, ARNC, let's check it out. Ooh, it's a little rough, but yeah, on the 4 hour, I'd wait to see if it's going to break up over that 50 right now. It is low volume, so it's probably going to move real quick when it does go. I don't know what I hit there. MViz. What did Wish? Hey, that's not a bad bounce right there, but it's got a long way to go to reach higher highs. Wish, what did it do? Oh, Wish continued on again today. It's not bad at all. I put this on my watch list, just the way it stayed above the 50 until a bell. Yeah, congrats if you got in on that, man. That's awesome. So, if you got in yesterday, you seen highs at 24% and still at 19 now. And guys, this is what I'm talking about. Some people call this scaling. Some call it averaging up or down, depending on if you're buying or selling. But you don't have to buy all in at one time. Like if you seen this spike getting ready to take off and you seen the separation before it actually spiked up here, you could put in a small amount. Let's say you want to do $100. Well, then you put 20 or 30 bucks in here. And then whenever you see it holds its support the next morning, you can say, well, it held above the 50. I'm going to do another 50-60% or $50-$60. So now you're in $80 and you still got $20. Well, then you see it pop up. You see it bounce here again. You can put in your other 20 and ride it the rest of the way out. Same thing with selling. As soon as it popped under the 15, you can sell 20%. If it continues to go, great. If not, when it hits the 50, you sell another 50-60% until it hits the 200 when you sell out. Or you can say, well, I'm expecting to get 25-30%. Well, you only need another 5-10% more, and as soon as you hit that, you sell out. You're good. This way, you're not out as much or in as much if something happens, depending on how you play. The key of trading is just getting the meat of the trade. Most successful traders don't buy all in at one time and sell all at one time unless they're just at the profit that they want. The thing about trading is being disciplined. It's sticking to the rules that you made. For me, I try to watch the 200. I try not to trade against it unless I have good reason to believe it will. And when I do trade against it, I leave room to get out if it gets rejected or bounces in those directions. This has just got me curious here. This should have fell on down. We may see this test $10 again. See how it lives around this 200? This is a good one on the day chart to pick up when it hits the 200 and hold until it spikes up. I mean, if you have to do that every time it does, let's say you did right here, that would have been 201%. I'll just get rid of it and we'll do another one. If you did it right here, that would be 51%. Again, right here, that would be 50%. And it's like that all the way down. So this is a good one if you're following the day chart. Buy that 200 dip and sell when it spikes. It looks like it's a sell whenever it gets above 911 and starts showing resistance. Ooh, Navi offered in a good dip buy here. Look how long this stayed consistent, and now it's sold off and bounced. So yeah, that's offered a good dip buy. If you want to be conservative on this one, you could wait until it hits over the 200. What is my trades looking like? CLF is up again. And I'm down on Wells Fargo right now. Hey, Captain, man, thanks. Yeah, share it with your friends, man. Let them know. Show y'all here the stuff I put in on. As a matter of fact, I got two things I want to show y'all real quick. One of them just made me freaking laugh today, and then I'm gonna have to run. So let me put you on. Where am I at now? There it is. So there we go. So the first one here, it just made me laugh. It really really tickled my funny bone. Have y'all seen Squid Game? If not, it's a decent show. You should check it out. If you ain't watched it, you're probably going to wonder what the hell I watch in my free time, because this is going to be weird. But I seen this and my side started hurting. And good thing too, because they shot up right after that.
These are the customers you've been
this
looking
one,
for.
it didn't do,
And when
it
you
didn't
market
shoot
on
up,
LinkedIn,
keep going right out of the
you reach
gate.
them in the frame of mind to do business. Do business.
What the fuck, man? This is what I do in my free time. Oh shit, man, that's so wrong. This is what my nightmares are like. Could you imagine the time and effort it took just to make this? Somebody's got way too much time on their hands. But anyways, with shit, with Twitter, so you know we put plays that we're doing when we're going live, news articles, watch list. Even see, I put this on there earlier just to have a little fun. For Halloween month, I've been doing scary stories told by Mr. Ballin. Yeah, right here was why the wheat stocks were moving. News. This right here is that report that the SEC done. No, sorry, right down here is the report. This right here is key takeaways from it. So we just do things like that. I want to try to do a newsletter soon. I'm just trying to look for a little bit of help on getting content and stuff for it. But guys, like always, if you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that like and subscribe button. And I've got to run and go pick up my kids from the bus stop. But I hope you'll join us again tomorrow, and we'll catch up with you then, man. I appreciate you really coming and hanging out with me. I had a blast. Thank you.